I just remember when I started the idea of quitting my job and build a pond. I always search for what would be the image, or what would be the pond that I will build in the future, right? So I always search on YouTube concrete pond. So let me share with you my concrete pond. So this concrete pond has 4 piles of hollow block. It was buried. The one pile up to there is buried. Second pile, third pile, and fourth pile. And it's a funnel type, right? It will have the funnel with the center bottom drain. Now, this is a bell siphon. Since I'm fun with aquaponics, I always search for bell. It's like the bell siphon. This is the capsule, and there's a pipe underneath. There's a hole. It will suck up all the debris. Now, this floating plants has purpose. As you can see, it's clean underneath. This is the Detrius algae, and it will clean up those algae. And I have the filtration. When I started, or when I tried to imagine what would be my pond is, I always thought to have a combination of concrete pond with a filter, for it will be a RAS system, meaning recirculating aquaculture system. The water will just recirculate, cycled water, for me to save the water, since I don't have the flow through. Here in our place, every household has they called it deep well with a flow through. It's just constantly flowing. They called it on this place flowing water, and drinkable one. But since there's a lot of house at this present, some of the deep well got contaminated, and it's expensive. So I'm only using the water district from the government, and that's the reason why there is a tank here for me to store water, right? Because I'm afraid of the chlorinated water that can kill the fish or the crayfish. Since this pond is intended only for crayfish, I don't want to mix it with any fish. I just want to focus with crayfish. But since I love fish keeping, I tried goldfish, eventually tilapia and koi. But those tilapia with a high density stacking, it will kill all the goldfish. Right, you can see that tilapia. Right, there's no goldfish left in there. All got killed by tilapia. Now, I forgot to show you the level of the water. When I started to use this pond, I tried to increase the level of water like this. As you can see, it's really deep. But for me, this is a well oxygenated, well aerated pond, meaning I'm not afraid if it's too deep for crayfish, because I have a lot of oxygen. If you put oxygen meter on here, has skyrocket oxygen. But when I feed this lettuce, they will clean up the floor underneath. At the same time, the roots of this will eaten by the crayfish. This type of plants has a long roots, but crayfish already got eaten them. And eventually, once the root got destroyed, the leaves will fall out, then also eaten by crayfish. That's why I came up with the idea to have a shallow water like this, because if you see the corner, it's shallow, right? It's like about 3 inches deep at the corner or on this side. But since this is a funnel type, it has deeper water at the center. It's funnel like this. Now this is my concrete pond. If you're planning to create a pond for your hobby, including crayfish, especially with crayfish enthusiasts planning to start with crayfish pond, I'll give you the idea right here. This is all drain from the bell siphon to this. I cover it with wood so that I can walk over there trying to fix something or feed them. This is my overflow and drain, so it can be open here. And so if someone will mess up the drain, I can also lock this up. That's the design. And I'm afraid of some people messing up with my stuff, so I also create a fence, then a roof to maintain the temperature, because crayfish should only have at least has a limit for sunlight. Like optimal temperature should be around, for me, 24 degrees Celsius or centigrade up until 30. So I have to maintain the temperature. Right. And this is a vegetable here in the Philippines, the kangkong, alugbate. And that's the chapal pond. So that's the concrete pond, as you can see. So the idea of this is you have a tank, and since I don't have the money, enough money, I will have chapal on the side, and then there's a secure room for aquarium. Right? Secure meaning if they had a gun, I have a gun, we can fight. That's what I'm talking about. That's the meaning of security. If they had a bolo, if they will attack this, I can also attack them, right? So we never know. I'm in Mindanao, and that's the, if you see the mountain from behind, that's a dangerous place. So that's why I also, even it's local interests, if they do something bad at you, at least you have the time to call the authorities. And if they will invade you right away, you have the time as well to repel. That's the reason why it's secure. But it's up to you if you allow the people to mess up with you. Because if you allow them to mess up with you, you're placing yourself as a victim. That's why I'm preventing that to happen. That's also the reason why. It's simple. So hopefully, if I had the money, I will create a concept like this. We just drill, create a metal assembly, for you to have layers of pond. And my pump is a very reliable pump, Pereja brand. This is the one, Pereja. So if I'm planning to increase this for a vertical farming, this is the best water pump I recommend, Pereja. The one that I have is only 12,000 gallons per hour, and it has 3 modes: 50 watts, 60 and 70. There's a maximum water pump with the Pereja brand. It's like 25,000 gallons. It's quite expensive, and also quite has a lot of power consumption. But if you think you want to get a million crayfish, if you think pump is necessary, it's worth it to invest with the best pump. So this is my concrete pond. The title of this video is Concrete Pond. Before any unrelated thing I could say, thank you for watching my videos. I hope you get the idea of concrete pond. This is a well aerated, well cycled pond. I'm telling you. You can put a comment if you want to show something. If you want me to show something how I aerated this, I can also make that video. And this is also the place that I can rest and observe with my farming, since I don't have the mentor. I don't have someone will guide me on breeding, on what to do, what not, etc. I just do it on my own. And I started this concrete pond since September, right? I started this concrete pond since September. I used the concrete pond around January, but I cultivated crayfish last April in Cebu in a small container. And I've been interested with this crayfish since 2013, or about I think not 13, but around 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I saw someone in YouTube, a Filipino, sharing a crayfish, the Australian red claw. And there's also an international Facebook group also into crayfish. But now I realize that those rich country like the Singapore or the China, they bought land here in our country, and they cultivated many years ago. That they want silence on social media. It's just that there's a lot of breeders, a lot of seeds you can get. It became a thing. It became a big news in the country. It's like a hype. So for them, it's useless, but for me, it's the same with the shrimp. But the difference is crayfish can be grown in the backyard, and it's a type of lobster though, freshwater lobster. I love eating lobster. I first eaten the crayfish in Cebu Yacht Club. The restaurant called Mr. Krabs. One time we are having cravings with lobster, and the staff offered us the 400 per 100 grams lobster. When I saw it after they cooked it, because they did not show us before they cook, I only saw the finished product. When I saw it, it's a crayfish, and the taste is like half shrimp, half lobster. Lobster texture is kind of dense meat, and it's very juicy, and there's a lot of meat on it. It's very dense. On crayfish, it's quite minimal because it's like shrimp on the shape or on the size. But if you're planning to have unlimited eating of crayfish, I bet this is better than shrimp. So that's also the reason why I'm into this farming. Hopefully, in the future, I can produce 1,000,000 crayfish. And it's just a hobby, but if I have 1,000,000 crayfish, I sold it for 1 peso each, I could have 1,000,000 pesos. I don't care about the time, but I want to achieve 1,000,000 pesos in a proper way, not doing something fishy or illegal, right? Because it might I just want to have an honest life with a good reputation. So I don't want difficult life. I want peace. Everyone want peace. So this is the only if you continue watching my videos, I will upload videos. If you're not watching, it's up to you. But on myself, I just documented this in the English language. I am a Bisaya person, and if I will created a video on Bisaya, no one will understand. And if you search videos on YouTube, you will also understand. It's difficult to find a step-by-step crayfish cultivation, farming, from breeding to nursery, or what's the reason why they breed, or what's the rationale about this crayfish farming. Because in this setup, you have the aquarium. Everyone in the world can set up an aquarium and grow this for food, right? So if you can see the smallest value on this crayfish farming, it's up to you. And bye for now.